So this is a mare we've been working with for her doctors, trying to kind of help get her started. She's a little excited about the hay there, but she does need to stay with me instead of going over that pile. She does back up in hand. Good girl. We've also taught her to put her head through the halter pretty well. Like she puts her nose in, great. She doesn't mind it being on. She also doesn't mind it being on the crown area, which is important. May, are you a good girl? You're a good girl. The learning happens in the release, so that's why I stepped away for a second just to give her a release. Even though she doesn't mind me in her space, I still like to do that for her. There she's going over to her pile of hay. I would like her to take the hay from me instead. So that's what I do. I know her. I've got better stuff here. It's alfalfa. That's not. It's alfalfa. That's better. So I want to be able to also put the halter like on this area as well. I don't want her to be afraid of it. Notice I have it kind of bunched in my hand. So it's not dangling. That can kind of scare her initially. I'm refueling very quickly. Good girl, JoJo. Got you more snacks, baby. So I'm gonna have her back off the rail. Good girl. And then we'll kind of show she's good on both sides. She will halter, like put her nose to the halter really well, both sides. Good girl. She doesn't mind the rope. She's not afraid of the rope at all. At least the rope halter. Good girl. I can lay it over here. She doesn't mind that. Good girl. Flies fighting you, huh, baby? What a good girl you are. What a good girl. I'll go ahead and just do a little bit more here. So she's good. Those are the things that I'm kind of looking for before I go to halter. I've got a little pro tip that I do. I put a zip tie right here to give me just a hair more length when I'm doing the first halter, because sometimes it can take some time to get it tied over the crown. They don't always like that very much. So what I do, good girl, because she already puts her nose through. I do this. What a good girl you are. Yeah. Another snap. Good girl. She wants the free snaps. Good girl. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask her to do it again. I know, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. And there. So see, it's super easy. And now it's on her. Good girl. Yeah, you don't like that, do you? Oh, good girl. But the nice thing about the zip tie on there is if she were to get tangled or stuck on something, it's just gonna break and she's not gonna get hurt. But then she can experience it kind of sitting on her head. Oh, you don't mind because you're such a good girl. And she already halters really well as far as putting her nose in. It looks like we've done our job because she did not mind it dangling at all. She's not afraid. Good girl. She's noticing I did not have alfalfa in that bite. She's like, lady, you're cheating me. She's like trying to nuzzle through it to find some alfalfa. Let's get her some butter before. Good girl. Good girl. Okay, don't do that. Oh, that's okay. But that's why the zip tie is there, so that she won't hurt herself. Good girl. Good. What a good girl you are. Good girl. Good girl. Yeah, I know, it's so weird, huh? Okay, you can go ahead and stop for a second. Okay. Okay, so I've got my alfalfa again. Okay, we got a better reward this time. Yeah, none of that stinky plain hay. Good girl. So I wanted to self-halter, kind of put her nose through for me, which she knows pretty well. Good girl. Good girl, there you go. And she's very comfortable with me in her space. So that's an important piece of this to make it go easy. But what I do then, just because getting it knotted for the first time can be a little bit tricky, it's nice to have that zip tie to help me just make that loop a little bit bigger, and then I can slide it over. I can always adjust it. Here, you're okay. Good girl. Notice she is kind of against the fence right now. Yes. I know, that was so good. Look at you. She's against the fence, but I wasn't pinning her. She kind of put herself there. She wasn't cornered and like trapped there. She just was kind of in that spot. That is something that we try to do. Is we don't want to corner them, but I think in that circumstance, that's just kind of where she put her body. I followed with her. But when we're haltering or working with them, we don't like kind of corner them to kind of keep them sitting put. I'm gonna try to move her on the space so you can see. Oh girl, thank you. So see how that zip tie helped me. I don't have the greatest knot on it, but I don't need to have a great knot. So I use that zip tie. Again, it's just a tiny zip tie. It'll break very easily. Because I'm getting that loop over, I need a little bit extra room in my crown, but I don't want anything that would potentially, good girl, that could potentially like hurt her, or she get a leg hung over or whatever. So if she were to get stuck on it or step on it, that zip tie will just break. But at this point, there is a loose knot there. And then I'm just gonna keep playing with her until I get that knot snugged up. Good girl. Good girl. There. And so see, now the zip tie is still there, but I do have a real knot in. It's got a nice fit on it, so she's good. And all I have to do is I can cut the zip tie off and then it's out of my way. So that was her first time putting the halter on. You see it's like very low stress, but that's just kind of like a quick, easy technique that I like to do to help get the crown over until they're more comfortable. So you don't have to kind of flip it over and mess with it. It just makes it a little more smooth for the horse and the handler. And that's it.